is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down.
Allow me to introduce the Magistrate of Kirkwall, Lord Heath.
Mr. Turner, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine, sir.
Please, have a seat, Logan. Or would you prefer Mr. Turner?
I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. You know my name, but I don't know yours.
I'm afraid I have you at far more disadvantages than just your name. Would you care for a drink? Coffee? Or perhaps something stronger?
Whiskey. Very kind of you to offer, Mr.
Oh, I do apologise. This is Professor Radcliff. Who's right?
Jack really is Radcliff, and it's brave of doing you. You have my apologies, Professor. However, this delicate matter I wish to discuss with Lord Heath and myself alone.
The brutal murder of Mr. Taverns is by no means a delicate matter, Mr. Turner. I can assure you of that. In fact, I would welcome to hear your deductions about this queer series of events which has befallen this island of late.
I feel it only appropriate that I discuss the matter with the magistrate. I fail to see where your importance lies in this matter.
As it so happens, I've handed the case over to Professor Radcliff for his jurisdiction. You see, he has knowledge of the absurds and occult, and I believe that your London-based detective skills, shall we say, may not work in this case.
Indeed. Your boat for the mainland is booked for tomorrow evening. I suggest that you partake of a dram and enjoy the Arcadian hospitality. I can recommend several places to enjoy a nice meal, or, if you so wish, I can point you in the direction of a very well-established brothel run by the elegant Miss Teresa Lambert.
I hasten an opinion, Professor, that you want rid of me.
You will leave this island immediately.
Excuse me?
You clearly have a very strong will, Mr. Turner. You will not be so easily swayed.
Many a trickster and magician has attempted to bypass my mind. They failed. I get the feeling that you want rid of me, Professor.
No, Mr. Turner, not at all. I just merely don't understand why you would want to waste your time and effort to solve a case that you cannot possibly solve.
You doubt my skills?
Please, Mr. Turner, let us not pit our unique skills against each other. That is all I ask.
If you are indeed in charge of this investigation, then on behalf of Her Majesty's authority, you will give me the information that I need.
Very well, Mr. Turner. Let's talk.
There were 4 victims in total, each pulled limb from limb in the most disturbing of manners.
The last victim, Mr. Tavern, was last seen with a working girl, whom of which he spent most of the night with.
I would like to speak to her.
The problem with these whores, Detective, is they partake in unusual activities and illegal substances. They do not wish to draw the attention of the police. They would face the death penalty.
I still wish to speak to her.
What do you take in the particulars of this Mr. Tavern?
I deduced that the attacker was a strong man, perhaps of military background.
Mr. Tavern was an avid boxer. He was Orford's champion. Never lost a match in 7 years.
Taken by surprise then, off guard.
His attacker left no marks, no scuffs, no blood splats, nothing.
What are you suggesting, Professor? An invisible man?
Now you are thinking along the same lines as myself, Mr. Turner.
Detective. Detective Turner.
You see, Mr. Radcliff investigated the scene himself.
Indeed. And I deduce that the victim was in fact attacked by something beyond physical parameters. I'm implying that he was murdered by something well beyond that of human thinking.
You can't be serious. Do you see what this man is doing? He is a trickster, a con artist. He is filling your head with nonsense. He is preying on your fears.
You will watch your tongue, Mr. Turner, or I will have it removed.
I'm a perfectly intelligent man, capable of thinking for myself. What Mr. Radcliffe suggests is not beyond the realm of human thought.
He implies monsters.
Indeed I do. As you see, monsters are very much real. They're just very, very good at hiding. Good day, Detective. I'll have one of the magistrate's servants escort you out.
It's been a pleasure. Speak to Mr. Blythe about the 4th of August.
Lord Heath.
Good day.
You wanted to see me, Lord Heath?
Good day, Mr. Blythe.
Ah, Professor Radcliffe. Top of the morning to you.
We have some questions, Mr. Blythe, regarding the newcomer to the island, Detective Logan Turner.
Ah, yes, I know the one. He's here, investigating them mysterious murders, ain't he? Asked by the magistrate, so he was.
The magistrate asked him to come here. Is that so?
I wrote to him myself, asking his permission for help.
Interesting. I have a job for you, Mr. Blythe?
Your chimney needing a good sweep, is it?
This job is somewhat more profitable than simply sweeping chimneys. I wish you to partake in a murder. The murder of Detective Logan.
Man, that really hurts.
Listen, this is really important.
I've got something important to tell you too.
Lord Heath. He's Raven!
I know. How's that possible?
I don't know, but he's here. He's Magistrate Heath.
That's impossible. But then again, is anything impossible these days?
It was Raven. He was alive in 1886, and I saw Jack, but he was Radcliff.
So did I. He just paid me to kill you.
How dare you attack one of Her Majesty's police force? I shall have you arrested and flogged immediately.
Please, sir, don't. I beg you. I'm sorry. I hate to do it, so I was.
By who?
I dare and say. Desperate man, so I be. Wife and 5 kids, you know.
Answer me, Mr. Blythe, or I swear I will have you chained to the pier and we will wait until high tide and see you talk then.
Professor Radcliff.
Radcliff? Mr. Blythe, tell me what happened on the night of 4th of August.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me everything, and I will consider being lenient towards your sentencing. And I'll throw in a bob or two.
It was a cold night. The streets were empty. The sky was clear, black as anything. And then I heard the chanting.
Chanting? Explain.
Coming from Cushing Manor. It carried on the wind, right past me. I went up to have a look and I saw a whole lot of them, wearing robes, burning candles.
And Radcliff? Was he one of those men?
Not Radcliffe, no, but the magistrate.
Lord Heath. So, the head of Kirkwall is a devil worshipper.
You failed to inform me that it was in fact you that asked the detective to the island.
I thought his help would be beneficial.
Logan's presence on the island only complicates matters. I am dealing in affairs far beyond your mere understanding. Do not forget, Magistrate, that I know your secrets, and I will not hesitate to tell it to the public and have you hung and drawn and quartered at dawn for your crimes.
These powers you have over me, they corrupt me. If I didn't need your help, so help me, I would escort you to the nearest boat.
Do not attempt to threaten me, Magistrate. It does not do you justice. I am dealing in things which will terrify you. I am dealing in affairs beyond all thought and comprehension. Ah, Detective Turner is here. Leave us. Mr. Turner, a pleasure.
Professor. Pleasure is mine. My presence here must have been quite a shock to you. And your murder attempt failed. I hope that you get your money back.
Necessary action, you understand, of course, Detective.
And you know it will be necessary for me to place you under arrest for my attempted murder.
Please, Detective. We are gentlemen. Have a seat.
Where is the magistrate?
Sit down. I find that shock is best absorbed with the knees bent.
Magistrate Heath.
Mr. Blythe?
You see Mr. Turner? He went up to the man to speak to you.
Do you hear that?
Hear what, sir?
We're being watched, Mr. Blythe, by the shadows.
What are you talking about, sir?
Mr. Blythe, I apologize in advance, but I'm about to spare you, well, a horror worse than you can imagine.
Devil worshipping? Implications of supernatural beings? What, pray tell, is happening here?
The magistrate cannot be trusted, Detective. Lord Heath is part of an underground movement. They call themselves the League of Speculative Theorists.
I have heard of them. There were stories of them in the city of York.
Indeed. That was where they were originally based. Until it was discovered what they were doing to the homeless and the orphan children of the workhouse, the experiments they were conducting on them. They were disbanded and forced to leave.
They escaped prosecution and fled to Orkney and continued their research on the likes of Mr. Taverns.
Mr. Taverns was a member of this league, as were the other victims. Lord Heath, who was their leader, did not wish for them to be killed. It was not his doing that they died, but in fact the doing of what he created.
Which was?
Realizing they could not do their experiments on human beings, they needed to find another test subject.
What kind of research?
They were interested in fatal diseases, biological warfare, and experimental torture methods.
They experimented on the people of Orkney.
No. Much more sinister. Using a twisted system of illogical electromagnetism, they were able to solidify their own shadows, effectively giving them self-awareness, giving them a perfect, indestructible test subject.
But why did the shadows kill Mr. Taverns and his other victims?
Right now, Detective, there's a revolution going on. The shadows are rebelling against their solid states. And with any revolution, great violence is going to follow.
Thank you.